Hello, amazing, beautiful people. My goodness, as you can see, I'm in a slightly different venue this week. But here we are to talk about love. Love is honor and respect. And what is so beautiful, I'm getting to be in Christchurch right now. And all of this that I'm staying in has been paid for in full. How cool is that? Because I believe that when we put God first, so he says, love your God with all your heart and all your mind. Not just part. Don't be double minded, be single minded and honor Him in everything that you do. And, part of what we do is we give what's in our hand. So the beautiful couple who own this beautiful retreat have blessed me with this retreat for the week while I come and watch my daughter play hockey. And I just think that is so gorgeous and so delightful. Not only that, but they've also given me a car so that I can drive there and back without having to rent a car because they've got a spare one. They've got it in their hand. It doesn't cost them any extra. And they blessed me with it. Saved me about $2,000, to be fair, this week. So I'm very grateful. But that honor and respect comes from honoring God. We're all family because we're Christians, and it's His family, it's His people. Loving all of us are part of His family, whether we choose Him or not. We're all part of His family and His creation here. It's stunning here. And then we love God with all our heart, all our soul, all our body, all our mind, and we put Him first. And when He does, He says, seek me first and my righteousness, and then everything will be given to you. Holy moly, that's exactly what He's doing. Isn't He amazing? But one of His principles when it comes to honor and respect is to love your father and mother. Now, for those of you who have read my book, The Great Exchange, you'll know that I have struggled with this for many years. And God has been very kind in helping me work this through. I didn't think my mum loved me, and quite honestly, I didn't have much to do with my dad. So it's like, how can I honor my dad who I don't know, and my mum who I think, quite frankly, couldn't give a monkey's chuff? So it's not about agreeing with them. It's not about doing the same things as them. That's not honoring. It's about being kind and compassionate towards them, regardless of what they do or how they've been. And as I say, if you haven't read my book, I really encourage you to do so. And I will put the link. Actually, you can get it from the website. You can get the audio and the digital copy, or as a bundle, or you can get the hard copy from Amazon or from me. It doesn't matter, like it's there. But ultimately, it's about exchanging what's not right for what is right, noble, and true. And if I just focus on God and what's noble, right, and true, I can see my parents through a very different light, and it allows me to honor them. I believe I have written the most honoring way of something for me that didn't feel honoring at all. And it's about finding that wisdom and discernment about how I ask God, how can I honor this person? How can I love on them? How can I give in this season? How can I be honorable towards my mum? And one of the things that the world does is it makes you feel like you have to please, like you owe your parents something. Now, the reality is they chose to have you. And no one owes anyone anything. Now, I can be grateful to my parents that I'm here today, because without them, quite frankly, I wouldn't be. And I can want to please my parents by being the best person I can possibly be. But if pleasing my parents means doing a job that doesn't work for me, or doing a degree that isn't actually for how I work, then I'm dishonoring myself and them, because I'm never going to be any good in those lanes that aren't mine. So it is about family, and it is about honoring the family name. And sometimes we kind of have to go against the grain of what has gone before to create something new for what goes forward and is true for you. And that can be uncomfortable, but we can still honor in that time. And the other thing is we need to honor authorities or governments. Now, that's probably my hardest space, to be fair, and especially, strangely enough, in the church. I get triggered all the time with things Sally Webb, doesn't agree with, that Sally Webb gets on a high horse about. And it's not the church, the people, the pastor, the government, the councillor, the whatever that is a problem. It's me. Because every time I point the finger, there are three fingers pointing back at me. And so I need to sort myself out. So it's interesting how God uses the things that come against us. And it's often authorities. It's often like, oh my goodness, why does the council do this? Oh my goodness, why did the pastor do that? Oh my goodness, why did that teacher tell my son off? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? And then I get like them, especially when it was with my kids, I get my mama bear hat. And I have packed a few sads in my time. And I'm very grateful for those who've had grace and favor and have been kind towards me when I have been quite rude at times, to be fair. So we need to honor the teachers who are prepared to go and do the job. We need to honor the counselors who are prepared to go and sit, quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, in very boring rooms discussing some very boring stuff so that I can have my rubbish picked up, so that I can have fresh running water. You know what? And, look at the healthcare, the nurses and the doctors. We need to honor them for what they do, all of them, and see them for who they really are. Without them, we would be a horrible nation without teachers, without doctors, without the people who sweep the roads, without the gardeners to look after the beautiful gardens that I get to walk past every day with my dog. I love it. They do the work and I get the glory. Bring it on. We need to honor those in authority. And when authority doesn't necessarily just mean somebody who's your boss or ahead of you in the food chain, it can actually mean somebody in authority in their zone of genius. Could be a psychologist. It could be a chef. It could be whoever. We need to honor them. Do you know what? I have ended not, see, that's another thing, another like amazing thing. Not only am I here enjoying where I am and the space that I'm in, Sarah's like, oh, I'll just cook your dinners for you. Come and join us for dinner. So I don't sit on my island here eating my dinner. And she cooks like a Michelin star chef. So not only am I getting to go and be with them, but it's beautiful paddock to plate food. No preservatives, no carbs, no sugar, no extras. I'm like literally living heaven on earth right now. Why? Maybe because I honor God. Maybe because she honors God too, her and her husband, the beautiful couple. And maybe she just sees in me a little bit of her. I don't know. She's an amazing lady. Oh, stunning. Anyway, so we need to honor. And I've got to work out how I'm going to honor these two and say thank you for the blessing that they've been this week. So that's something I'm going to be hanging out with God for. Another space that we do need to honor is our bosses. So those people that are ahead of us, those people, actually honor all those people who are brave enough to run their own business and then employ people. Do you know in here, in New Zealand, that employers are paying people for 12 months, but they actually only work 10 by the time if they've taken sick pay, they've taken their holiday pay, they've taken the annual leave that they're entitled to. That's crazy. And when you add the perks on top, so some people say, right, here's a company car, or here's a mobile phone, or have some beautiful coffee and tea, or whatever it might be. Somebody who sometimes earns 60,000 a year can be actually earning 120,000 when you add up what that is. So I want to do a shout out to any business who employ, especially family businesses or couples who run businesses and employ others. Because actually we need to be grateful for all the families that they're feeding. We need to be grateful for the perks that we get that we didn't pay for, they did. And we need to be grateful that they're brave and courageous to keep their businesses going, that they've got that bigger picture, that they've got that strategic, they've got that creativity to find that niche in the market. So we've got a job. It's next level. So for me, love is about honor. It's about honor and respect. And that respect can come in many shapes or forms. For many of the people that I work with, I respect them for being in the room. I expect them for being brave and courageous, for leaning in for what God's got for them. I respect them for showing up every week and being consistent. And I respect them for being in the arena and not sitting on the sidelines, chip, 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 because they could do it better. Instead of being, they're in and they're doing it. They're in the arena, they're playing the game. Yes, it's messy. Yes, they're going to fall over, but yes, they'll get back up again. So I suppose my message for you is to encourage you today to think about who are you honoring and respecting? And maybe more so, who are you not honoring and respecting and why? What does that really mean? Because quite frankly, when I'm not honoring or respecting, it's because there's something in me that needs to be sorted out. So I bless you. I love you. I thank you once again for being with me on Love is the Way. God bless. Take care. Have a great week.